Hello and welcome to our video tour of the new 1540 The Farm and Fox Sports Radio 1570 WANR. I'm kind of showing you the 10 acres right now that the three towers sit on. And there's the middle tower. I'm going to zoom in on it here in just a second. Tippity top, and up at the tippity top of that tower, turkey vultures, big hawk sit, and I'm going to enjoy sitting here with a 22 caliber shotgun and shooting them right off the top of my towers. But the land goes the whole way back here, 10 acres from left to right. And when you swing back around here, this is how you drive into the radio stations. It is a quarter of a mile in the woods the whole way back through here. This is going to be fun in the winter time. But I understand that the county actually does plow this road up into the place of the start of the parking lot for the radio station. So anyway, it's what I always wanted. 2 radio stations in the woods, and Kathy and I plan to build a house right in this area right here. So that's the next goal, is to either build a house or a log cabin right here, right at the front of the station. Now, I'm going to show you a picture of what the radio station looked like before Kathy and I remodeled it. So this segment of our video is rated R. It is rated R. I apologize for the language and the words that are on the outside of the building before we renovated it. Alright, once again, sorry about the language, but that's what it looked like, and this is now what it looks like. We just have to replace that window on my right-hand side with a custom window, which is coming. But as we scope in here, you know, one of the reasons why I did this is I'm all about radio history. So this was the original home of WNIO radio, and at one point also housed a station called The Wolf, or the station that then became CD 106, which is now Big 106.1 WBBG. But this was the home for those radio stations. And as far as I know, the last time this was used was sometime around 1999. But I just want to focus in a little bit of history right here that we found. There's a sign, I think from like the 70s, for WANR. Focus back out. Again, this is what it looks like. Now this is the main studios for both radio stations now. We're going to be moving WANR's equipment over here in the next week or two. But on the right-hand side over here, I'm not going to go the whole way over, but on the right side over here is another over 2,000 square feet of building space that also needs renovated. And we might make it into an apartment or make it into a house of some kind. Who knows? We haven't quite figured that out yet. All right, here's some more history carved right into one of the concrete slabs. WNIO. Again, this was the original home of that radio station, and again, one of the early radio stations here in the Youngstown area, along with WHOT and some others. So again, they apparently, when they built this, they carved that right in there. Okay, here we go, walking right through the front door of the radio station. Now, over here to your right, we're using this for storage right now, but ultimately this is going to be another studio. So we're going to finish this off in the next couple of months, and maybe that's where I'll put my new FM station. Did I just say that? Rebbit. Maybe I'll just put my new FM station in here one of these days. But anyway, this is a long hallway, and going down this hallway, I'll zoom in on the inside here. This will be on the right-hand side where our general manager, general sales manager, Rich, is going to be, and then straight back are the bathrooms in the long hallway. We'll go back there in just a minute. But we'll focus back here, and this is the window. Now this is how radio used to be, big time. All these windows connected to all the studios here. So we're looking now into the new Fox Sports Radio 1570 WANR studio. We'll walk in there in just a second. Let me focus back this way. These are pictures of Conway Twitty, Michael Twitty, Helen Cornelius, everybody that's appeared on our Ohio Hayride and our Huntington Hayride Tennessee shows, the classic country music shows that we have specialized in both here in Ohio and in Tennessee. So down this hallway we go. We make this first left. Again, this will be, big window in the front, this will be the WANR Fox Sports Radio 1570 studios, and we'll be moving the equipment in to here in the next week or two. Look at that old copy rack. You just don't find those anymore. Love the history in this building. Now straight ahead we're walking into what's going to be the production room for both radio stations. Even though you don't need a production room anymore, we'll still have one. So all the equipment is again moving here in a week or two, and it'll be located right here in this table. Now the neat thing about this room is, look at the original soundproof tiles. This is how they used to do radio stations back in the day. I'm estimating that this building was done sometime in the 50s, and from all the research I've done, I think it's pretty accurate. Now through that window, again, look how all the glass goes from studio to studio. Now back there is the current 1540 The Farm WRTK transmitter room. We'll go back there in a second now, but behind this door was also a soundproof stand-up studio. They would have gone in there and had a microphone in there and gotten a true soundproof sound when they would have cut things. But I think that this room at one point, if you look at these ports down here, at one point also probably hosted live music in this room that they put on the radio station live at some point. Back in the day, a lot of radio stations did that. Now, when you go straight to my left, we're going to walk in. This is going to be my desk, and this is the studios of WRTK, which is now the new 1540 The Farm, which is a classic country radio station. You could again see the old black soundproofing that's on the walls the whole way around. And this is the new automation system, Raduga, that is running the new 1540 The Farm. And there's the board. Now, you're saying, where's the microphones? Well, you know, in this day and age, you don't even need microphones anymore to run a radio station, but we'll have this all decked out with microphones like a real radio studio coming up again in the next week or two. But right now, the new 1540 The Farm is on the air. Okay, now I've walked down the long back hallway. This is the only way to get to the transmitter room here at WRTK, and this is the transmitter. It is a Harris transmitter that we're using. I'm just going to walk down through here, down through the equipment. For all you engineering gurus that like to look at all this kind of stuff, here is an old Gates tube transmitter. It's the backup, and by the way, it does work. My engineer Joe Vilke powered it up last week, so it still works. And by the way, if you're an engineering type and you collect these things or know someone that does, give us a call at AM 1540 The Farm. We'll sell it to you, because I don't want it. The rest of the equipment on this rack. This was the way you built transmitter rooms back in the day, and we are using the original processing that was off and wasn't even being used to power back up our classic country format, Youngstown's Country Legends 1540 The Farm. And I got to tell you something, it sounds tremendous. I mean tremendous. Almost sounds like an FM. Let me just swing back around through this room, and we're going to go back out. This just shows you the window that goes over to the farm studio, and then right through the middle of the production room. So again, see how they connected all of this back in the day when they built radio studios like this. Well, that's going to do it. That is the tour. It is 1,650 square feet that Kathy and I renovated, and officially we are moved in here. Radio stations are on the air, and WANR's equipment again arrives this week. We're just working on a final phone line issue, and it'll also be broadcasting its Fox Sports Radio format, or another one maybe in the future, depending on what happens with the big boys in Youngstown. We'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks. But again, thanks for watching, and again, we're very proud of what we've accomplished. It sits on 10 acres, and we couldn't be more happy. Both radio stations housed in one location right here, just outside of the city of Youngstown in Niles, Ohio. That's going to do it. This is the new